Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Fabrizio Romano reveals Erik Ten Hag demands. Erik Ten Hag tells Manchester United he wants to be 100% involved in the club's transfer activity and issuing new contracts. Erik Ten Hag will target 3 Premier League players if he is appointed as Manchester United's new manager. And those 3 players are Harry Kane, Declan Rice and Ruben Neves. It's also said that Erik Ten Hag wants Robin van Persie back at Old Trafford as part of his backroom staff. But Robin van Persie has turned down the opportunity to work as a coach with Erik Ten Hag at Man United. Revert back to earlier on this week, it said that Manchester United are close to appointing Erik Ten Hag as the new permanent manager. Revert back to a couple of weeks ago, Ten Hag got interviewed for the Manchester United job. And he told Man United chefs that he needs 5 years to overhaul the club. Erik Ten Hag's release clause is 1.6 million, which is cheap. Ralph Rangnick wants Erik Ten Hag to become Man United's next manager. The other week, Rangnick spoke very highly of Erik Ten Hag with the Man United board. And a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him get recommended in. It'd be good for him to come and experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. And if he becomes Man United's next manager, I think he will suit the strappings of the club. He'll get the best out of these group of players. Even though the vast majority of the squad, or should I say all the squad, won't be his. And I think he would be capable of winning trophies. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, at Ajax he's developed the young players well. He's won some Dutch Cups with them. He's won a couple of Eredivisie titles. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go. Erik Ten Hag has been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. Ajax appointed him in back in December 2017. His contract expires next year. Ajax is the 4th club he's managing in his managerial career. Before Ajax managed Utrecht and before then managed Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Mauricio Pochettino has obviously been linked with a managerial role at Man United. Not so long ago, Wayne Rooney told Man United to get Pochettino. You know, the vast majority of Man United players would like to see Pochettino become the club's next manager. You know, Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. You know, we have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson, even though Man United are not really known as a sacking football club. Ralph Rangnick, he will take a consultancy role at the end of the season. He will only work 6 days a month when he begins a consultancy role. Rangnick is Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. He's been Man United's interim manager for over 3 months. He's lost 4 games in all competitions as Man United's interim manager. It has mentioned a few times that Rangnick, wanted the permanent Man United job. He has enjoyed one transfer window at Man United, and unfortunately he didn't get backed in the January transfer window. Before Man United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. To his credit, he has made changes since he come in. Earlier on this season, he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. I've got a lot of respect for Rangnick. I think he's a very good coach. He is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. None of this squad is Rangnick's. He said earlier on this season that his aim for this season is for Manchester United to finish in the top 4. I'm very sceptical we'll finish in the top 4. I think Tottenham will finish in the top 4 this season. Man United, though, have been playing catch-up since Ferguson retired. In the last 10 years, Man United have only won 4 trophies. We've not won the Premier League since 2013. In the last 10 years, we've spent a substantial amount. We've spent over 1.3 billion, and we've brought over 40 odd players in since Ferguson retired. When we had Moyes, he brought just 2 players in, and then when we had Van Gaal, he brought around 15, 16 players in, and Mourinho, when he was United manager, he recommended 11 players into the club, and when Solskjaer was United manager, he brought around 14 players in. We've got just 2 players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time now. We've got to get the Glazers out of the football club because they've been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. A few weeks ago, like I've already said, it said the Glazers were planning to demolish Old Trafford. He said, Man United were looking to upgrade the stadium, was looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000. Old Trafford at the moment holds around 75,000. It's the second biggest stadium in England, and it's in a static stadium even though it is old. Man United have played in the same stadium for 112 years. And revert back towards the end of last season, a lot of Man United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and at Old Trafford because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, but in the end the Glazers ended up apologising. In the summer of this year, Man United will make signings. Man United need a midfielder. We also need a striker. And we need a world-class centre-half. Varane's a very good centre-half, but he needs a world-class centre-half alongside him because obviously Harry Maguire's not world-class. He's very, very poor. Man United may get around £200 million to spend this summer. That could be Erik Ten Hag's war chest if he is appointed as Man United's next manager. And we'll sell players in the summer as well of this year, so we will, raise funds from that. This summer, at least 11 players I think will leave. So this summer I reckon Dean Henderson will leave. Our second choice goalkeeper doesn't really get in goal. He's only made 3 appearances this season. Jones and Baye I think will leave this summer. There's a good chance Harry Maguire will leave. Man United are prepared to sell him, and it said the other week that Harry Maguire's Man United future is in doubt, and the other week he got booed for England. We certainly overpaid for Maguire, got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive sign at the club, and he's been at Man United for over 2 years, and he's had quite a few injuries since he came in. Bissaka, we could look to sell him as well in the summer because he's not good enough. And he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick. Diego Dalot's our first choice right back under Rangnick. Revert back to Bissaka, I think defensively most of the time he's good, but the attacking side of his game is poor. Dalot and Telles, do you think they could leave this summer? I don't think they will. I think they could leave next year. But Dalot and Telles have been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation before. Pogba, Matic, I think they're leaving this summer. Lingard, I think he's leaving this summer. Lingard should have left Man United in January, but we blocked his exit. Good chance we'll get rid of Van der Beek and Martial permanently this summer. At the moment, Van der Beek's out on loan with Everton and Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. Mata, he'll be leaving Man United this summer. Cavani will leave this summer. Marcus Rashford could leave the club this summer because he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation, especially throughout the course of this season. But there again, reports have said today that Manchester United want Marcus Rashford to stay at the club this summer, despite his wretched run of form. A few weeks ago now, sources close to Football Insider said that Marcus Rashford told his friends he wants to quit Man United, and Romano said earlier on this season that Marcus Rashford was considering his future with Man United as he was concerned about his lack of playing time. I'm expecting players to leave Man United next year because we've got a lot of players that are out of contract next year. And Lee Grant is another one who I think will be leaving Man United. Lee Grant is our 4th choice goalkeeper. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And tomorrow I will be giving you my match reaction from the Everton game, so join me for that. And then after the match reaction, your play ratings and that will be coming up. So take care, God bless. I'll see you all again very, very soon.